Hey there, Wargamers. Jstncloud here with another video in my Tactical Tuesday series, and this will be one of my first two videos for the new year. And I'd like to start off by apologizing for not having more videos done in December. I got pretty busy with school. Towards the end of November, beginning of December, I was wrapping up some commissions, and just, with family and the holidays, it was just really hard to find the time to game, let alone the time to shoot some videos and rant. So anyway, for this video, I would like to talk about the social contract of wargaming, a subject that, if you guys are familiar, Fritz 40K talks about this quite a bit. But with the recent, I don't know how to put it, the surge of Games Workshop rules, their data slates, their supplements, their all the rules that they're putting out, they've caused an uproar within 40K, and I feel like I wanted to touch on that with my take. And this video may at some point go off into a slight tangent about my opinions about Escalation and Stronghold Assault, but to each his own opinions. But I think that my overall thought on the social contract of wargaming still holds true. So let's go ahead and get my thoughts on Escalation and Stronghold Assault out of the way. I think that we have standard 40K for a reason. We have Apocalypse for a reason. To bring out Escalation, which lets you use full-on Apocalypse models in a normal game, is a little bit ridiculous, especially if your play group is good, kosher with Forge World models, which generally I don't have a problem as long as they're models that are balanced. My opinion, balanced. But when Forge World put out their FAQ saying what models they provided that are allowed in Escalation, they opened up a can of worms for just pure ridiculousness in regular games. How do I think it should have been done? I think we should have regular 40K. I think Escalation should have been Apocalypse 0.5, meaning it had Apocalypse type units, but they were the lighter end, aka no strength D, and more lighter Apocalypse units, and then leave the full-fledged I destroy everything units for Apocalypse only. As it stands now, why play Apocalypse when you can play regular games with Apocalypse units and stand a better chance at actually getting to play with your Apocalypse units and not losing them on turn one? On that flip side, if you're using the APOC units in standard games, you may be doing to your opponent what happens to you in Apocalypse. You may be destroying their stuff turn one, and they may have a hard time fighting against you. So with Stronghold Assault, I'm a little bit more open-minded because it's terrain, and the terrain can make or break the game, but you got to pay the points for the fortifications. You can work around them, and for the most part, I don't think they're as overpowered as some of the Apocalypse-type units. Additionally, with Escalation, if you play Imperial Guard or Orcs and I think maybe Demons, we're going to say Orcs and Imperial Guard for now because I don't have a computer to reference, but Imperial Guard can get their Baneblade for about $100. Orcs can get their Stompa about $100, depending on where you buy and get your discounts, whatever. And you can field those in regular games. There's a Baneblade variant with a Strength D weapon. For Escalation, you can only use the models that your faction is allowed to use. So, Space Marines can't use a Baneblade. Space Marines can only use the Thunderhawk. So, you're more likely to see a Baneblade than you are to see a Thunderhawk because of that price tag. And I thought that was a little bit that just wasn't kosher with me. Because if I want to play Escalation and I only play Space Marines, my only option is a Thunderhawk. So, you're kind of boned there, so to speak. Wouldn't have had as much of a complaint on that end had they released simultaneous plastic kits for everything that's in the Escalation book, so everyone would be on par in terms of a dollar investment to be able to enjoy that rule book, but that's not the case. Additionally, I believe it's the Eldar Revenant Titan, I think that's the name, that is, I believe it's a little bit cheaper, a lot of it cheaper than Thunderhawk, and ridiculous. So, it's there. The cheese factor is there, and I just think that they didn't think that out. Not to mention that pretty much everything in the Escalation book was a reprint of everything in the Apocalypse book. So GW kind of hosed people that rushed out to buy that, I think. So Stronghold Assault, I'm much more open-minded. I don't think that that's as bad, and it's a little bit more fluffy. Not as I don't think it's going to be as abused as much. Don't think it's going to be as abused as the Escalation will be. So, how does all of that tie into the social contract? Well, here before us, just as visual aid, I have an old, I believe in 4th ed this was called Captain Side Carrier, so Lightning Claws. Now it's just the Captain Lightning Claws. But I have this model, and he is here, just kind of show him off a little bit, as representation of a Space Marine, and we have Commander Farsight here as representation of Tau. I don't have a whole lot of models to do a visual aid with for this, but social contracts. My friend's playing Space Marines. I'm playing Tau. He's getting tired of me spamming, watch out. Oh my god. It's Mr. Riptide. Okay, so he's tired of me spamming Riptides, which I only have one, but, you get the point. My friend is tired of me playing the stuff that he has a hard time fighting. As a war gamer, when you meet with someone to play, you guys are both agreeing to play each other, and you're both expecting to have a good time. When one player is sapping the fun from another player simply because they are fielding stuff that is so abused and so unfun to play that the other person doesn't want to play anymore, they're doing both of themselves a disservice. So if I continue to spam the Riptide against Sir, Captain Space Marine here, and my friend decides he's not interested in playing anymore, sure, I got some wins out of it. Maybe I can have some bragging rights, but I'm hurting myself if he decides he doesn't want to play anymore, because now I have models sitting on a shelf. So it's a catch-22. I do agree that you should play the models you own, but I think that, players should not only be considered with winning, but also enjoying themselves. And that is how I felt with Escalation and Stronghold Assault. I felt that the blow-up on the internet was a bunch of fluff players complaining to the tournament players, and the tournament players complaining to the EP players, and everybody was complaining to everybody else, but no one really seemed to sit back and say, hey, I want to have fun, you want to have fun. If I want to bring a super heavy, what would you like me to do to be able to field it and still have fun? Do you want me to not use Strength D? Okay, I'll do that. I'll bring toned down, Escalation units so I can still play my models and you can still have fun. Players are so cutthroat these days that they forget to have fun, and they are just out to just stomp someone into the ground, and I think that that's a mistake. When you sit down to play with somebody, you play to win, they play to win, you both are playing to have fun, and if you win or lose, you should be able to leave that shop and say, I'll get you next time, or good game, better luck next time. It should be mutually fun. No one likes to lose, but you shouldn't lose and feel like you don't want to play anymore. That should never, ever happen in wargaming. Now, I've watched a lot of little videos, YouTube clips, blogs, whatever, about Escalation in the tournament scene and the Screamer Star in the tournament scene, and while some people are probably going to complain in the comments below and tell me that I'm a noob or an idiot or whatever, I think the same philosophies hold true in the tournament scene. If everyone's spamming the Screamer Star and stuff that is literally so powerful that no one enjoys playing against it, not only are they hurting the wargame community because people are discouraged from playing, they're hurting the tournament organizers or the shops that are hosting these because they're there to make money. If you go to a tournament and you're paying an entry fee, some of that money's going for the overhead of that shop. The more players that are encouraged to play, the more money the shop makes, the better the prizes are, the more likely that shop's going to stay in business. So by being so cutthroat and win at all costs that you discourage people from participating in tournaments or playing 40K, not only are you hurting yourself in the long run because you're going to run off players, but you're hurting the shop because you're cutting into their money. So I think that there is a happy medium for playing to win, also playing to have fun, and I think that win at all costs does have a place, but at what cost is there to winning. So that's my take on social contracts with gamers, and I would like to encourage you guys to start the new year with an open mind and, try and go out and not just play stompy with your armies. Play to have fun, play smart, play to win, but not at the expense of your opponent's, pleasure as well. They need to enjoy winning or losing, and they should feel encouraged and excited to play you again. If you lose, be like, I got you next time, man. We're going to have this rematch. My Space Marines are going to try and kill your Tau, or, whatever. If you win, try and be humble about it. You know, so and so, you did a good job. You'll get me next time, or you know, whatever. Be positive and don't just be I'm going to use a not so great nerd term here. Don't be the stereotypical neckbeard that gets your jollies off playing Stompy Stompy with plastic soldiers, because it's a game. Don't forget to have fun in a game. So, anyways, guys, that's my rant on the social contract of gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you didn't like. Did like, flame away. You know, that's what the community is about, communication. But I hope that this has opened your mind to a different take and a different opinion on playing Warhammer 40k and war games alike. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy wargaming.